Welcome everyone to Fated Worlds: The Burning Wind. Uh, so I'm so excited to jump into this.
You almost make us sound cool.
That's because
Oh,
it is.
that is a really cool overlay. I did not see that last time.
Oh, thank you.
I like it.
Um, so this is you could call this session one, with the previous session being session 0.
Yeah.
And what it is we're going to be playing using a system called Burning Wheel, which is made by Luke Crane and is brilliant and harsh and fabulous. And the game is set in Patrick Rothfuss's Kingkiller Chronicles, which is which is super cool. Probably the most famous novel from them being The Name of the Wind, but also Wise Man's Fear, and the I always forget uh, the name of the little one, the
Mm.
silent something of secret things.
The slow regard of silent
Well,
things.
yes, that. Sorry, terrible.
It's a really good book, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so let me, since it is like sort of the first session, uh, how about why don't we all like introduce ourselves a bit? So I'm hosting this. I'm Brad. I broadcast from RPGlory. And I'll be playing Mathers, who's sort of uh, like a social chameleon. He's like also a smuggler, but very much trying to stay uh, out of notice, out of view, out of fading into the background while doing illegal things. Um, uh, with me today are let's just start with you, Kala, if that's okay. Also,
Sure.
Umbra, take it away.
Yeah, indeed. I'm Kalle, Umbra on the internet, most places. Stream-wise, I'm mostly here or in various chats making terrible jokes and not really contributing outside of that.
Terrible jokes are an important contribution.
Indeed, but on some level.
They are fine, cringeworthy puns.
Right here. Every Wednesday. Tonight I'll be playing Lynn, who's a bit of a runaway wizard, as I've described her. Who's on the run from a nobleman after making away with. After I should give us the proper context. After falling in love with his daughter, and the two of them running away together. Now they have found her way to the university. Lynn has become a proper sympathist after a somewhat what's the word? Average
Checkered
application. Long, strange journey on the road to get here. Now she's finally looking to settle down and live a quiet life. Then got mixed up with these people. So that's not going to happen. Especially a rogue alchemist over there.
Tell me, like, I didn't really mention that last session. Why do you stick with these people specifically? How do you know them? What bonds you to them?
Well, Mathers, I mostly know through work. We own an alchemist's workshop together. Desi, I've had a few run-ins with, I should say. I think we talked a bit about that last time. And Levi, he's just sticking around for some reason, but he's all right, I suppose. I think he, likes me. So that's how I fit into the greater puzzle.
How about
Yeah.
you, Mark?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Mark. Sadly, I don't have a cool alias like all the other people around here. I'm just
Me
Mark.
neither. Me neither.
If you want to call me something, then call me the Mobius. I don't know. But anyway, my character is Levi, and Levi is was this poor boy who got into the right situations and started to climb the ladder from there on, and now became even a noble by being adopted by a noble. And he is now at the university to further his education, but also do some favors because this nobleman he was adopted by is dealing in information, and there might be some information that you can acquire there if I needed to. So yeah, I'm here for a double function, and I mean, I need to stay with some people to not be too suspicious, I suppose. Also, Lynn is really, really nice. I mean,
Yeah, nice is a word for her, I suppose.
It
Not a very common one, but it's a word.
It is a descriptor one could use. How about you, Kelsa?
How about me? I'm playing Desi, who is a discredited prophetess. She was discovered to be gifted at a young age, and after a ritual that even she does not fully understand, gained the ability to read the history of objects, and that has caused no end of strife. She also is a diviner who reads the stars and tells fortunes and gives love advice based on those readings. However, not everybody likes what she has to say. And that's how she got ran out of town, wandered the world a bit, and realized that she could hone her talents at the university and not be burned as a witch if she was to manage to become an accredited member of the Arcanum. So that's her goal.
Desi,
Why is she
aka
sticking
Cassandra.
with these people?
Sorry.
Sorry, what was the question?
Why are you sticking with these people, Desi?
Why am I sticking with these people? Well, Lynn and Katerina are really good friends of mine. And Mathers has been here forever, and he knows a lot of things. And Jesus Christ, Kat, what are you doing? No. Sorry. He just knows a lot of things about how the university works, And I mean, Levi's just always here.
Levi sticks to Lynn.
yay.
I don't really trust him. He's just always hanging around, but I can't tell him to leave.
That'd just be rude.
Be rude. But I don't know why I don't trust him. It's like a gut feeling.
Mm-hmm. Levi, I think you have to do a little work on your image.
Oh,
And
well, I suppose. Wow, but I mean, my relationships are doing their job. I mean,
up to you. And Mothers, why do you hang with these people?
Mostly because he thinks that they may be useful at some time in the future, particularly to his business. Like he thinks of Levi as sort of a kindred spirit, or potentially so, and Desi and Lynn are both very skilled sympathists, and perhaps skilled in other areas of magic as well, where he's sort of lacking, and uh, that could be a valuable commodity.
Okay, and I happen to know that you are in a romantic relationship with Davy. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, why Davy?
Uh, well, I think that I'm not sure how she feels about him. I mean, she is probably kind of out of his league. Like I mean, she's yet another.
Is Davy in anybody's league?
Yeah, maybe she's out of all leagues. Um, but she's yet another skilled sympathist. But I think that Mather's attraction to her is not out of what he can get from her. It's much more that he finds her uh, uh, fascinating and
Her ambitious and is attractive.
yes.
I mean, she's very different from you, right? She's much less subtle, much less, chameleon in the shadows kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it may be sort of an opposites attract thing where um, she's all fire and force, and he's uh, usually very calm. He's the one person who doesn't uh, try and demand anything from her, but it is like around and supportive, uh, that sort of thing. But maybe she just like kind of takes him for granted. I don't know. I'm not. Well, I think we're gonna have to like kind of figure it out as we interact. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So let's start the scene with Mathers and Davy. Actually,
Okay.
what are you two doing?
Well,
Well, there can be other people present as well, but
Ooh.
Did you have ideas?
I have ideas, but I'm not going to say them now.
very different ideas.
Um. Well, okay. If we want to all be there, maybe it's we're just like studying together.
sure.
Um. And perhaps like I've just uh fetched some calf or coffee. Um. Sort of. I mean, for everybody. Um. But like I make a big production of serving Davies, and then I'll hand them out to the others.
And I bet she gets the expensive kind too, right?
Oh, of course.
A little heart in the foam.
Yes.
She smirks when you give it to her. The she definitely sees like through your theater, but she kind of likes what she sees. Um,
Yeah, and when noticed, he just totally plays it off as, oh, it's no big thing. It's just coffee.
the somebody comes up to you, Mathers, and pulls you back. Where are you exactly? Are you in the library?
Uh, Probably.
You can't be all in the library, actually.
Oh,
Levi
yeah.
can't be in the library.
I mean, I can read the tomes, right?
No, I don't think so. I think you can. You need to be alert to go to tomes. Oh no, you can be in tomes. You're right. You need to be enrolled in the university to go into tomes, and then you need to be alert to go into stacks. You're right.
Ah, yes.
So you guys could be in tomes.
Oh, stacks. Someday.
It's not this day.
So,
Um,
somebody comes up to you and pulls you towards like a bit of a more quiet corner of tomes.
okay.
Do you
So
know
it-
this person?
There's
This is somebody you did business with. Maybe somebody who gave you material or something along the likes. Maybe somebody who sold stuff for you of for your illegal business that you did.
Okay. So I won't hesitate to walk off with them, but then I'll be. What is it? This is not the way things are done.
What is this person? Who is he or she? Is it a he or a she?
Maybe a he and let me see. I mean, it may have been a student that a fellow student who has done some alchemical work for me before, like to help pay their fees. They worked in the workshop once, or a number of times.
This conversation is close enough to the table, by the way, that you guys are at, to overhear if you really try. Unless you want to pull it further away, Mathers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to disinclude the other players, but Mathers wouldn't want people to overhear the conversation.
Okay. So he says, "Hey man, I need some money like quickly. You need to give me like like five silver talents like right now."
As I recall, uh, uh, there is no debt between us. You should be paid up. What is this about?
Look, man, I can't explain. You see that he's clearly stressed, but I need the money, and if you don't give it to me, then I'm gonna tell like the masters what you've been doing.
That would be unfortunate for both of us. Perhaps.
Do you look like upset when he says this, or like
No, very mild.
very mild?
Yeah, I'm not phrasing it as a threat so much as
No. I'm more
really.
wondering if like the people at the table could see that you were upset.
Oh yeah, I mean he's certainly trying to appear very nonchalant about the whole thing. I don't know how successfully.
Let's see if you succeed at that. I guess inconspicuous makes sense here.
Yeah, it's just about to suggest that.
Anybody who wants to notice this, by the way, can try to roll a counter roll.
Yeah, with one of those high perceptions. Do it.
I wonder, like,
Yeah, Lynn
what do
would
you
definitely.
roll? I want to roll for Davy as well, but I need to figure out what she would roll for that.
This would be perception.
Perception. Okay. I imagine
to
Davy to be
decide-
fairly
Trying
perceptive.
to decide if Desi would care.
No
enough
modifiers,
about
right?
what's going on. Yeah, I don't think that she's paying enough attention to really care to try to figure it out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Lynn would definitely notice it. Almost call it work there for a moment. Mathis would be in trouble. We want to have a look.
What's the obstacle?
So that you're rolling against Mathers, so there's no set obstacle. The obstacle for you would be Mathers' amount of successes. And I feel like Mathers, you have a bit of advantage because you're standing a little far off. You know, maybe even like with your back partially turned to them or something like that. I feel like that would give you something.
Oh, okay. Should I roll an extra die? Or how do you want to handle that?
Yeah, you get an extra die from that.
Nope.
Let's see, perception. I feel like Davy would get advantage. I assume she knows you pretty well. Okay, so you have 2 successes. So Levi and Mathers are in a tie. That means that they both don't get much further. Like Levi doesn't really get height of Mathers. Mathers doesn't really hide something from Levi, I guess. If anybody of you have traits that they can call upon that can be swayed one way or another, if one of you has a trait of being more perceptive or more inconspicuous.
Normally, a tie would go to the defender in this case.
Okay, that makes sense.
Whoever that would be.
Yeah, that would be Mathers, I imagine.
I mean, I do have driven. I don't know if that helps me in that situation.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you need a call on tape.
Yeah, it needs to be a call on trait.
Okay, yeah.
To break a tie in your favor.
It is actually a call on trait, so.
Yeah, but probably for something else.
Driven is generally for
Right.
my motivations. It's about my motivations.
Yeah, I think for driven you actually need to pick a skill, and it's a call on for that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
If I'm not misremembering things.
I just knew that with charismatic.
Yeah, like Davy comes up to you guys and she's like, what's going on here?
Okay, and that does count as a difficult check, right?
I am not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I don't remember what the thresholds are for that.
Roll versus each other.
So
I
it
think
counts. It counts. So if it is a test against
someone, then their obstacle would be the base obstacle, I guess. The question is like, since Mathers is rolling versus multiple people, maybe the average.
Yeah, I would probably say the average here.
So 3 successes is the average. So whatever, like your up was 3.
Okay.
So depending on how many dice you had, plus your bonus die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Dice, so an op 3 is routine.
Yeah,
okay.
Very, very routine.
Okay, bummer. So, she asks what's going on here. Let's see. Oh, just a minor disagreement over an old debt. It's nothing to worry about. I'm sure that.
Does Davy know of your illegal business?
No, I haven't told her that. Like, she may have intuited that there's something, slightly weird going on, but I wouldn't share that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
She gives you this suspicious look, and she's like, "Sure," and she walks back, but you can see that she's not gonna let this rest.
Okay. I just kind of smile and shrug, you know. Uh, it's not lying if I don't tell you anything.
yeah, so I think Lynn is going to be sort of storming up past you and get in the face of this guy, whoever he is. The, who the hell are you? What do you here for? What do you want with him?
Um, he's like, he's taken aback and a little like threatened. Nothing's going on. And then he gives Mathers this warning look, and he says, "Shouldn't this stay between you and me?"
Indeed, Lynn, I appreciate you stepping in on my behalf, but really, there's not a problem here. Uh, this is just a, a little disagreement about something old. It's uh, nothing to trouble yourself with.
Good. She takes a deep breath. Don't try to start trouble with my friends.
Well,
Gives a glare and walks back to the table.
Yes, I am sure that I'm sure that there's no reason to bring in others about this, because you wouldn't want uh, that sort of attention. Neither would I.
Hey man, I'm desperate enough to do anything. I need that money, or I'm dead.
Just so that we can, just so that I can help you with this. Why don't you explain the situation to me in some sort of detail?
I can't. I promised I wouldn't say anything. They'll have my head if I tell you about it. I might as well hang myself right now.
I am nothing if not discreet. Really, I won't. It won't go beyond me, but for me to help you, I need to know exactly what's going on. You're in debt to somebody else, I take it. Uh,
He shakes his head and he's like, "No, I can't say anything, man. I can't. Don't push me. You don't want to see what I'm like when I'm angry."
There's no need for that. We're on the same side in this. I need you to understand that. Okay. Let me see what I can do. But again, just it would help me to expedite matters if I knew exactly what I was dealing with.
You're dealing with 5 silver talents by tonight.
Hmm. Guilt bullying is the worst kind. Sorry. I'm. I'm sorry. I just. It. I could perhaps uh, liberate that much if I knew, although with difficulty, if I knew exactly the situation. That's
The situation is
it-
that everybody will know what you've been doing if you don't. Meet me on meet me on the roof of Muse tonight at 8. Not a second later. And don't even think about double crossing. I'm gonna make sure that somebody else delivers a letter to the masters if something were to happen to me in the meantime. He looks around like suspicious of everybody and everything.
um, the roof of the Muse is a little conspicuous for my taste. Anybody who saw us there would know that there's something up. How about that there's an alleyway off of off of Leaves Lane uh, between Perch and Salmon. Do you know it?
No way, man. I'm not going there. The wolves have ears there.
It is precisely because the walls do not have ears there that I suggest.
How about the bridge to Imre?
Uh, how about beneath the bridge too?
If you
Two
really want to
trolls.
climb down to the river, I mean, I guess. Like the bridge of Imre is across like a bit of a crevice. The river has cut down quite deep, so you'd have to put down like you'd have to actually climb down rock walls to get
Oh,
there.
okay, never mind then. Um, uh, again, that seems a little bit public.
There's
It,
not going to be someone at that hour anymore. Like the bridge to Imre is a little outside of town, so it's like half an hour walk from like the town or so. So at 8 o'clock there might be somebody passing, but most of it will be like very quiet.
very well. I'll see you then.
Bring the 5 talents. In the meantime, at the table, um, Davy, Davy Levi is so confusing. Davy looks at Yulin and says, "What do you think? What do you think that's about?"
I don't know. Mathers keeps getting himself into trouble. Keeps getting himself bossed around by people.
I think he's keeping something back.
There's lots of secrets. Lots of secrets. That man feels like.
He won't tell me anything when I ask about it. He'll just like do his like awkward quiet thing and just like smile. Like I don't know
Do you really want
how
to
to find
know?
out what's going on. I mean, I want to help him.
I mean,
Do,
he just shrugs. We all have our secrets.
do you want to know the thing that you don't know? Still, you do not.
She looks at Desi confused and she's like, "You mean do I want to know what Mathers is hiding? I guess. Yeah."
Yes, all this could be like, shh.
I can search the stars.
Thanks. And yeah, like at that point, like one of the what are the students called? The scribs? One of the scribs come up to the table and is like, "Hey, be quiet or get out."
Just
And
nod.
Okay. Oh, and
your friend storms
Nod.
out, Mathers.
okay. I'll to the table. I'll say, I'm sorry. There's a matter I need to attend to. I'll see you all soon. Uh, and I will follow my friend out at a discreet distance.
Davy will storm out after you, and she's like in the square, like in front of the archive. She's like, "Okay, are you gonna tell me what's going on or not?"
I would love to, but the I didn't want to say this in front of the others, but the matter is actually a little bit pressing. Uh, perhaps uh, we can meet up. Well, I'm going to be tied up a bit tonight, but perhaps early tomorrow.
She said, "You always say that, and then we talk, and then nothing happens. I want to know what's going on." She's trying to, mentally strong arm you into telling her what the hell is going on with you.
If you must, he believes that I um, owe him some money. Um,
Do you?
Not exactly, but it may be best to humor him. I'll have to look into the matter.
That is ridiculous. Look, you
Perhaps.
either owe him money or you don't. If you don't, then I can talk to him if he's giving you trouble.
No need for that. I don't want to scare him. I just want to. He's getting a little bit out of range. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, so you don't have to follow him unless you want to talk to him. Like as far as is concerned, the conversation is over, and he'll see you at like 8 at the bridge.
Yeah, but I want to know who he talks to after.
I mean, sure, you can do that. I mean, you see the determined look in her eyes. You have not convinced her to not go talk to him.
uh, um, I appreciate you not wanting me to get uh, uh, on the wrong side of this foolishness, but it's really best if it's not made into a big thing. If you could just bear with me, I would really appreciate it, Davy.
So, yeah, I think you're going to have to roll for that.
Okay.
Is there a specific skill? Does anybody know for being obstinate? Or is that just will?
I mean, soothing platitudes, perhaps? Soothing platitudes, perhaps?
No, for being obstinate, for Davy's side of the thing.
Okay, for being... I would just say persuasion, then.
Yeah, I think usually these things are just rolled against will, which is going to be tough, because I bet hers is, like,
a lot.
Way up there.
8 million.
63. White.
So just against her bare will stat? Or...
Yeah,
Just be against her will
yeah,
stat.
like she wouldn't roll. It would just be against her stat.
I see. Okay. So let's see. I feel like her will is 4, by the way. I feel like you would have both disadvantage and advantage. Disadvantage because Davy cares about you and she wants to help you, and advantage because you two are in a relationship. So your obstacle is 5, and you have an advantage die.
Okay. Let me see. And I'm rolling persuasion.
Makes sense.
Can I fork in? Let me see. Falsehood. Falsehood. I mean, I'm not lying, but I am kind of downplaying the seriousness of the matter.
I think so, yeah.
I guess I'll just let's go with that. To roll. Go. Modifiers. 2. And the pace obstacle is 5. There's no way.
I mean, you have 1 6. You could try.
You could. Yeah, no.
And you have Persona, right?
I mean, Persona would have been useful already.
No. Is there no post like reroll traitors thing for Persona?
That's only if it was already open-ended before you rolled.
Only if it's open-ended before you roll. Okay, I see.
Isn't that Fate rather than Persona?
Is that Fate? I don't remember. Like, you can add an extra die with Persona before you roll.
I know that, yeah.
Okay.
But afterwards, I think it's only...
Bending Earth, Persona.
And where is the...
But your teeth will to live. No, you cannot spend just before a roll. Persona can't be spent post roll. You can use it to get a boon, so an extra die. Grit your teeth. Focus. That means that you can spend a point if you fail using the working carefully rules, and it counteracts the time complication. And you can use it for your will to live, that if you've been struck down with a mortal wound, then you can spend a Persona point to consider trying to stay alive and roll, see if you actually do. So...
And I'm looking for the chart so I don't have to ask every time as for what thing...
Page 71.
71, okay.
So, for everybody.
Well, okay, the chart for what constitutes a difficult as compared to routine roll.
Sorry.
Earlier.
That's on page 41.
Ah, okay.
But it says it's a difficult test, right? I don't know if you need to look up on the chart if it already says it for you.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You only need to look it up on the chart if you're doing like a versus test and you don't know what your ob is before you roll.
Yeah. So,
okay. Yeah, so does this mean that she's...
She looks at you with a determined look in her eye and she says, I'm gonna talk to that guy right now and I am going to tell him to leave you alone. And she like storms off after that guy and she's like, nothing you say can convince me otherwise. Now, before we go on, I want to know exactly how much money... How much you guys are in deep shit when it comes to money. So let's see, for the last university semester, how much you guys have spent. Desi, your lifestyle, how have you been living? You've been living at Muse and basically not spending any money outside of meals. Have you had a small home? Like, what's
I
life been
have
for you?
a small cottage on the outskirts of town that it's like one room, or maybe it's like two rooms, except really it's one room divided by a curtain, you know. And I do fortune telling out of the front part of it and live in the back behind the curtain, where there's a small stove and a bed, you know.
And is it like a bad cottage, like the kind where the kind that poor people tend to live in, or is it a nice little house?
I feel like it's kind of shabby.
Okay.
It's nice enough that people don't feel ashamed to come here, but it's also not so nice that people who are living the Muse get super jealous.
Okay. So that would give you an obstacle 2 on your lifestyle maintenance.
Okay.
How about you, Mathers? In the meantime,
am I gonna roll that right now, or
yeah, you can roll that right now.
Okay.
Probably in a shabby room off campus, but it's definitely rented rather than something I own.
Well, either way, I think like unless you're actually living in a shared bunk in Muse, I think that would still make it obstacle 2.
Okay.
How about you, Lynn?
Do I
I
roll
think-
my cash die?
Me and Katerina own a place in the university town outside the university proper.
So that's more like a nice small home than a rented cottage, I imagine.
Yeah, slightly, I suppose.
Okay, and that would put you at obstacle 3. Levi.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here to work. I'm not here to live fancy or something. If I wanted to do that, I would have stayed home. So, yeah.
So,
Food.
are you sleeping in the bunks? Are you?
I'm sleeping in my property.
Oh yeah, you're right. You have your little house. Is that like a crappy cottage? Is that a decent small place? Like what is it?
Yeah, I would say just a small flat, as cheap as it gets. Just what I got to study here, and I didn't want too much of the money from my
So back in the day, they didn't really have flats.
yeah. So that's what I was asking about before. You said you didn't care.
The Muse is a tall building, but the most buildings in the house, in the other things, are small ones. You could have a room in Muse. That's like a flat.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you have a room to yourself in Muse then.
Okay.
That would give you obstacle 2. So
I mean, I didn't rent it though. I mean, it's property. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, but Desi's is also a property. I'm just judging
Okay.
it by the quality of what it is.
Okay. Fair enough.
Rather than whether it's rented. I mean, you could technically also rent a manor.
Okay.
I'm not particularly
Yes,
interested.
you can technically rent a manor. That's true.
So I'm more looking at the fanciness than whether it says rented or not. So, Desi, let us see
Yes.
how well you did.
I have one cash die. I bought one cash die so that I could afford this. So I could afford to live. That was like my whole reason for being. So I'm gonna roll it, and I'm gonna add that cash die, spend it here.
Yeah.
Watch me fail anyway. Yep.
Yep, just did.
Ow.
Oh, it's a 6 though.
Oh.
Ah.
Are you gonna spend your fate point?
Yes, I am.
I mean,
I am.
I rolled a 1 with the 1 die I had.
That doesn't really matter.
Possibly the worst result of the game. Good job.
No.
Oh,
Aw.
Dang. Ouch.
How about
so mean this game.
Mathers and Lynn, how do you do?
Okay, well, I would like to dicker over the price. This is, this is not a great room. It's not in a great neighborhood. I could go somewhere else. Really, you should cut me a deal, because it's in your best interest.
Sounds good.
So I would like to haggle and fork in city-wise and maybe appraisal.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let me see. Reference. Obstacles. I think that's an up 3 thing.
Okay.
And that's a link test, I guess.
Okay.
Giving
Oh
you
yes.
extra die to your resources.
Okay. Oh, so
succeed,
if I
but-
fail, I get minus. Well, I already said it, so let
Well,
it ride.
up to you. Like if you can come up with a rule that makes that different for her specifically for haggling, then maybe. But I mean, the other person is gonna haggle back, right? They're gonna
Yeah.
drive up the price.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be whatever their the haggle is.
Like they're gonna start too high, and you're gonna be like, okay, get this shit down.
Okay. Of course not.
Ow.
That's
Well, you get a
unfortunate.
difficult test.
There's always that.
Is it even? Yeah. Oh, it's being marked as difficult. So difficult. Okay.
Don't forget, by the way, guys, you can ask for help, and you can ask for advantage dice if you have a good reason why you would have some and stuff like that. So keep that in mind when you do stuff like this.
I mean,
My
could I
fa-
have I don't know if I could, if it's retroactive, I could do it, but to ask for an advantage dice of I've been working out of my house, making money that way, or a link test to astrology to what do you call it?
Yeah, I think
Mimic
getting a job.
Doing my job.
I think getting a job is more about replenishing lost resources dice, as I understand it.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, so it would be something you do in the next cycle.
I'm fine. Like, I don't imagine that saying that you already had a job works, but I think you can do a link test to just like help as many people as you can so that you can pay your rent. I will allow this retroactively once because this is, basically this is the first time that we really have come into contact with something. So everybody of you who feel they need to create some kind of advantage for themselves can come back, do a link test, and see if that's enough to bring them up to get that one extra die if you failed by one die. If you failed by more than one die, you can still try it. I don't know if the amount of.
I mean, I mean, if it's something that would have made sense to have been doing, I would say.
Yeah, I guess like anybody who wants to do this can can try. It will change the difficulty of your test if you get that extra die, or if you lose that extra die, it will also change the difficulty of your test. It's up to you guys if you want to do, and the difficulty of the test has to do with how hard you get screwed over when you fail. So if you manage to turn it from like a challenging into a
well, mine was routine either way, so
yeah. So up to you guys. But Lynn, I'm curious how
Yes.
you're.
Lynn, I'm going to be asking for 2 sources of advantage. First, I'm going to try and do a linked test of my city-wise, because Lynn knows what people need in a city. She grew up in Tinway, which is an order of magnitude larger than even Imre, I suppose. But
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, she knows what people need. You know, adjust her production to that. And I'm also going to ask for help from Katarina, because we live together.
I imagine she'd be willing to help you.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to make a city-wise test first, I imagine.
You do. And anybody else who wants to do something, let me know what you want to do, and I'll let you know if that would help you.
Well, the idea was that I let my father pay my stay here, but well, that doesn't seem to work out.
I imagine he would give you a helping die. Sure.
But that still doesn't help me.
Well, it can change the resources test from challenging to difficult, which means that, let's see, failed resources. If you fail a routine test, the character loses 1 die. If it was a difficult test, he loses 2 dice. If it was a challenging test, it's by the margin of failure. So either way, it would be 2, so it wouldn't really matter. No. If you succeed, it would matter. It would only be... No, even if you succeed, it doesn't matter. You lose 2 dice. Which would bring your resources to 0. You're screwed either way.
Good.
I'm afraid. Oh, mothers.
Yes. And I already did a link test, which I failed.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I can't
call
do...
upon helping dice.
Yeah, I'm assuming I can't do like another linked test. I don't know whether...
No, I think it's a chain thing.
Yeah, sure.
Link tests are a chain, not a tree, I think. Yeah, that's something you could do, Levi, if you really wanted to go for it. You could use the helping die and see if you would succeed at a linked test, which could possibly get you to equal.
I mean,
You succeed at both of them.
I need this.
That would be 2d6. But then
Okay.
you need to tell me what you want to do for a linked test.
So,
or you roll 1d6 and then you roll the skill that you use for your linked test. If you do.
that's what I was trying to do, because I don't even know if I...
So that's a success.
Okay. So basically, link test works. What
You
way?
roll the skill, and if you succeed against the obstacle, you get plus 1 die that you can then roll.
Okay. So can I link persuasion by getting someone to give me a loan or something?
I mean, that'd be helping dice, I imagine. And you already have that. Can you have multiple helping dice? I'm not sure. I couldn't really find that.
I think there's something about it.
I'm still very confused about the system.
The system is quite confusing. Don't worry. We'll slowly start to understand it.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking into things. What's the question?
If you can have more than 1 helping dice
Yeah, if you have multiple people helping you, or if if the skill that you're helping with is high enough.
Okay, yeah. So you can have multiple helping dice. I think you could like try and convince people to give you money, but unless they're people that are likely to give you money, that's going to be really, really hard. I mean, walking up to someone in the street and being like, "Hey, dude, give me money for my rent." I mean, you probably have an idea how well that will go.
We
It is not very.
we did just see that play out.
Yeah, who would I ask?
I mean,
Probably
Mather
a
seems pretty
money
believable.
lender, wouldn't I? I mean,
So, while you're trying to figure that out, can I make my roll for my astrology link test here?
Definitely. Like, you guys can roll whatever you want whenever you want it, and then we'll just narrate it when we get to you, so you don't have to wait with rolling.
All right. So I'm gonna roll astrology. I want to link in Omen Wise
Seems
and
reasonable.
Ugly Truth.
I'm not sure how ugly truth would help you, though. I guess it's kind of the thing
because
you do.
I mean, it's
But would it
it's-
make
it's-
people give you more money?
it's part of the services that she offers is opening your eyes to something that is true that maybe you don't want to hear, but when you hear it through the lens of prophecy, it sounds that much more palatable. And also by
Okay.
pulling in an ugly truth, it makes the prediction sound that much more believable.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you couldn't do ugly truth, you could probably do falsehood.
So,
Why would I lie? Why would I lie when
Let's
the truth is
see.
so?
list of obstacles.
I mean, I could probably do both, but I'm just gonna take ugly truth.
Because people want to hear about the good things, not the bad. They don't want to know. They
I'm
don't.
not that kind of soothsayer.
So I think this would be obstacle 2.
Obstacle 2.
I think this is pretty routine for you within your job description.
Okay.
so what obstacle would I need to lend money from a money lender, even though I don't have
3 successes.
Yay.
So that would give me 1 more die.
Yeah, that would give you 1 more die, which you could then roll to see if you make it or not.
And
Drum
since I
roll.
already had spent my fate, I would have spent fate. But 1 success. Yes, I did it.
You did it. You paid.
Yay! It cost me my cash die and everything else, but I did it.
So Levi.
Yes.
That depends on which money lender you go to. It has to do with how much they think you're going to be worth, like how much you're going to pay back. Like, are you a fancy person who can get much money easily? I don't think you apply right now. You're fairly poor.
I mean, I could just wear my finery, so
I mean, that would help. That would definitely give you an advantage. But even so, the obstacle would be fairly high. But if you're going to somebody who, who would require like bad shit from you, like Davy isn't a money lender yet, but say a Davy.
yeah, but I'm not going to those kind of persons. No.
Then you can get, of course, you can get it much easier, or you can have a reasonable chance of getting it. If you go to an actual money lender right now, you're gonna have to stack the odds up in your favor quite high. Because if you're not even rich enough to pay for a room at Muse, then how do they know you're gonna be rich enough to pay them back?
I mean, I wouldn't tell them that, and probably would just get an amount of money that wouldn't make them suspicious.
I mean, the amount of money that you need is the amount you need for a room, right?
Yes, and just making it a little bit more that it looks like it's just because I don't know he hasn't got it in his purse or something, and it will get back
I
later.
don't think. I mean that's what everybody will do when they get there, right? These people, it's their job to make sure they get their money back, which means that it's their job to make sure that they know whether you're gonna pay them back. So they'll look at your clothes, but they'll also ask you for like an insurance that you're gonna pay it back, and you know they'll want to know what your financial situation is and ask about that.
Okay, I will just show them a letter from my father, so that they know who I'm affiliated with.
I mean that helps. That helps. If you want, you can do a linked test. Let's see. Let me look up the rules. Like circles test, is that just to find new people, or is that also to call upon your circles?
I think it can be both.
So you can do a linked test where you first roll your circles and you wear your fineries, and your circles can give you an advantage die, and your fineries can give you an advantage die, and then you can roll the
Okay, so I
persuasion
roll
test you need to convince
circles, and how do I know how high my circle value
them.
is?
You should have calculated that at some point when you calculated your resources, if I am correctly.
Oh,
Yeah, usually it's half of your will, rather
Half
than
of your will.
okay, so it's 2.5.
rather
So
than.
probably 2.
Which is 2.
Yeah.
So let's see. I feel like if you have a letter of your father, then you have. I feel like you have advantage to this, and I feel the obstacle would be. Let's see. Up to.
So modifiers 1 and obstacle 2.
Yeah, and if you fail this, you get a -1 die to your test
Of
instead of a
course I
+1.
did.
Is it -1 die or is it +1 to the obstacle?
+1 to the obstacle, I guess. So the obstacle for convincing a dude to lend you money, I think, it's gonna be fairly tough. Obstacles. I think that's gonna be ob4.
Okay.
Plus the 1 die that you failed, so ob5. You have 1 advantage die from your finery that you're wearing.
I use persuasion.
Something along the lines, yeah.
Okay. Well, go.
Nice.
Huh? I'm pretty
Good job.
at this.
Okay, so you get the 1 extra die that you need for your resources. I think that will turn that into a routine test, if I'm correct. Let's see. Your obstacle was 2. And you have exponent 3, so that would still make it difficult. But if you succeed, you don't have. You obviously can successfully pay. So it all comes down to this. Nice. Okay, you pay. No problem. You scrape together the money you need from. But you now have a debt. So I need to write that down. Your debt. Let's say your debt is 2 silver talents.
It can't be too much. I mean, I do own property, and
you have a debt of 2 silver talents.
Okay.
So let's see. Desi made the roll.
Yes.
Levi made the roll.
Okay.
Lynn.
And I still haven't.
And mothers are still busy, right? Both
Okay.
of you.
So I failed the link test, but by any chance can I like default to when I find that he's asking for even more for this room, can I just like default back to Muse?
Well, I think that's like the general like if things go wrong, you get kicked out of your house, and you have to live in Muse. You're trying to avoid tax, I assume. I don't know.
Pretty much. Like, I mean,
like
the whole
that's
reason that I got, that I was seeking a room off campus rather than on Muse is so that there's less people like looking at my comings and goings. So that there is sort of a price in
I
defaulting
like,
back to Muse, but I understand if
I
it's.
feel like defaulting back to Muse is just what what happens as a result. I don't think you can do that. I mean, you could have done that before you decided to roll resources if you were like, hey, I can't afford to fail
Okay.
this.
Oh well, I haven't rolled. I rolled the link test. I haven't rolled resources
you
yet.
rolled the link test. Okay. If you haven't rolled resources, then I think that's reasonable. Actually, no, it's tax for the stuff you already did. So, no, you already lived
Okay.
in this.
Well,
place.
okay. So, but it was. Isn't this a new cycle? Like we did job stuff.
Previous cycle.
Yeah, we're paying for the last one.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
So it's actually not a new. It's for the previous. Like afterwards, like I'm supposed to look at. Okay, how did you guys live? Well, I didn't really get a chance to see that. So in this case, I'm asking you guys, and then I'm supposed to be like, hey, okay, this is your bill for now. You lived above your standards. There you go. So Lynn, how did you go? You did city-wise, and then you use your helping die and your bonus die from city-wise?
Yes.
Okay, so you just failed.
Indeed.
And there's nothing you can do about that.
Nope.
I'm afraid you and Katarina will have to start living smaller.
Yeah, seems like it. Yeah, so I actually looked a bit at how this works, and because I've failed by 2, my margin of error is 2.
Doesn't matter. It's a difficult test, so you lose 2 dice.
Right, yeah, it's a difficult test, but that makes my resources, it taxes them down to 0, which means that I lose 1 permanently.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But with that difficult test, I have enough to advance back up to 2. So I just lose my advances, but I'm still at 2.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So for the resources test, I'm putting in -1 as my modifier because I'm taxed.
No, you already fixed the tax, right? You worked.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might still get taxed.
I get taxed again, but okay.
But you worked off that tax as far as I remember. That's what the dude was blackmailing you over, after all.
Alrighty.
Makes sense.
So no modifier. No Artha, and it's obstacle 2. Since I'm.
Yeah, I believe Lynn was the only with obstacle 3. But is it 1 obstacle higher because of you failed your haggling, right? So obstacle 3.
All right.
And if you're using, like, you can call upon help from someone if you know somebody willing to help you. I imagine Davey would be willing if you put aside your pride.
Yeah, give her a taste from islanding. That'll go well.
Do I want to do that? Oh, I can't. Okay, no, I'm not gonna roll it. I'm gonna suffer the consequences. Well, hopefully I'll get lucky.
You
There you
could. No, you're not. So your resources are taxed by 2.
Okay.
If that brings you to 0, then your resources are
No,
permanently reduced by 1.
it taxes me to 1 because I actually had 3 resources because all my money went into property, or all the RPs went into property.
So yeah, you
But
can't play.
having no luck here.
Where are you gonna live now that you can't pay for your place? You gonna live smaller this time? This resource cycle, like next semester. The same goes for you, Lynn. Are you guys gonna live smaller, or are you gonna risk having the same problem again?
Okay, I think I'm just gonna like sleep on my ship. But give me 1 sec. There's okay. I guess it's under control. There is a there's a kitten wandering across the street that I was seeing out the window, but they're out of the street.
Brett's kitten senses triggered.
Yes. Actually, yeah. Give me just a sec. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. As for Lynn, I think it's just I think they've just been living large off like the last of their money. Now the money's running out. So I think what's going to happen is that Lynn's going to be working a whole lot more, and Katharine's also going to be getting a job in town. They're just going to try and stock up on money for the next term or so.
Okay.
We should we don't get into this trouble again.
Okay. Let's
Makes
see.
sense to me.
In the meantime, let's go back in time. Let's go 3 days back. 3 days ago, Desi, you got an intriguing visit.
I think
Oh.
Kelsa's camera is frozen.
Oh, yeah, you
Everybody
do look
else's
frozen.
camera is frozen for me, so
Yeah,
let me
you're frozen here.
Let me reset here.
So, while you're resetting, yes, you got
I'm
a strange visitor while you were working your ass off to pay your rent.
Yes, tell me about this strange visitor.
There was like a tall person. You're pretty sure it was a guy, and they were wearing a cloak that they had like pulled like super deep over their head. Like their whole face was shrouded in shadows. Like as far as you could see like a little bit of chin, and that was in shadows. And like the cloak was hiding their features, and they were using this weird hoarse whisper, and they said, "I need your advice."
Yes. Many people come here seeking such.
I have a complicated love interest. Person I'm interested in is already occupied by someone else.
I see. Many people come with that problem. Would you have someone come to me with the same problem? Were they to be occupied with you?
You see the figure looks for a moment and it's like, what's she saying? Look, just tell me what I need to do to get her, okay?
I will ask the stars.
Do you need to know who it is?
Yes. Stars will know. Tell me.
You see
Who do you
them
seek?
deliberate for a moment. Then you hear Lynn Vanger.
Oh, surprise.
Not again.
Yeah, so she nods and like leads the figure to her table and like gestures at it.
The figure sits down.
And she says, "For true telling, I must know about you as well. Tell me, where were the stars when you were born?"
So,
In the sky.
he names a date in
Mm-hmm.
Hi, sorry about that.
in the third quadrant or something like that, and it vaguely rings a bell. You don't know what you remember this of, but you've heard this. Like, I mean, sure, there might be more people, but it vaguely
It vaguely
a bell.
rings a bell, but I don't remember.
Oh, you can try to remember.
Can
if
I
you want.
resist that effect? I want to roll
Certainly.
insight to. Oh no, wait, that's Blades. Never mind.
I've heard of a
No,
Capricorn
but
around these
like
parts.
that's my way of telling you there might be information to uncover if you uncover it. Like that's
Okay.
generally the way I say things. Like, you know, you see something from a corner of your eye, but when you look, there's nothing. That means that there might be something, or you might be going crazy, or you know.
Mm-hmm. I love going crazy. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Or this is just a place where there's shadows in the corner of your eyes, or whatever. But that means that there might be something for you to discover.
Okay. So I definitely want to do the whole um fortune telling business, asking leading questions and uh using my knowledge of the zodiac and some
Definitely. Just out of interest, Lynn. And what would someone have to do if they'd want to get you to cheat on Katerina or break up with her or whatever?
They would probably have to kill me.
Reasonable.
kill you, bring you back from the dead, and then you'll cheat on her.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Take away my mind.
What if they would threaten to kill her if you didn't?
Then I would probably try to fight them.
Fair enough. Okay. So now you know, Desi, what you're working with.
Okay.
It may help guide your answers if you find them from the spirits.
I feel like I don't want whoever this is to be going after Lynn because, well, one, Lynn is my friend and in a stable relationship, and two, I kind of don't trust them.
You don't know.
So
they might be very trustworthy people.
They might be.
Wearing a cloak and speaking in a weird voice.
So I want to roll astrology, obviously. I want to I want to work in both falsehood and ugly truth, as well as omen wise.
So the obstacle is going to be higher if you do not know who this person is. Like you get extra obstacle if you don't know who this person is. You get extra obstacle if you don't know who their target is. And you get extra obstacle if it's a particularly difficult question, but in this case the question seems reasonable. It's the kind of question you always answer.
Calling upon the stars to answer a question is normally ob 4.
Okay. So you only know half of the equation, so that would make it obstacle 5. You can first find out who they are, then that would return to obstacle 4.
I'm alright rolling it at ob 5. And with 7 dice, that'll still be a no, I'm gonna go to 8 dice. Because I was gonna fork falsehood, ugly truth, and omen wise.
So that gives you a 50% chance of succeeding, I guess.
Just about. Do I want to spend a persona? Do I think it's worth it? I'm going to. I'm gonna spend a persona here.
Okay. Record what skill you spent the persona on, and in pursuit of which belief.
Yes. It's on astrology, because that works towards, because being a prophetess is kind of my jam.
Yeah. So does it have anything to do with any of your beliefs?
I don't know. It doesn't have to, though.
I mean, if it does, then you should record that you spent the persona in pursuit of that belief, because that will, I think, allow you to turn it into a trait at some point or something like that. It's important to record that for some reason.
I know, like the yeah, I don't think it's in I mean, the only way I could say that it would be is if it was under Lynn and Katarina are good friends of mine, and I will help them any way I can.
That depends. Are you trying to find out the truth to help them? Are you? I guess it's not directly.
I mean, this is not. I mean, finding out the truth is less important than Whoa!
Cat explosion.
That sounded pretty bad.
I will
that sounded,
right back. Hold on.
It sounded just like Kitty Chaos.
So for you, Brad, while you were gone, I don't know what you got from the conversation, but Desi got 3 days ago. Desi got a strange customer who was wearing a cloak and using a hoarse whisper to speak, and something about their date of birth was vaguely triggered a memory, but she wasn't sure who it was, and they had a romantic interest in Lynn Wenger.
Interesting.
So that is what is happening in the meantime. Davy, in the meantime, by the way, if we go back to the present, is storming after your friend.
Okay. I will.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. I hope nothing important broke.
I mean, other than my sanity, it was the postman. I had multiple packages, and I had to sign for one, and it scared all of my cats.
Ah.
So, I don't know if you guys moved on without me, but I was about to roll here.
Oh.
We were in the process of moving on, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. If I can figure out where my mouse went, jeez. Okay, here we go. My obstacle then is 5, we said?
4. No, oh yeah, 5, right,
5,
you're right.
Okay. And...
Ouch.
No!
Do you have
I
any
have
sixes?
1 fate left, let's do it. Let's roll this.
Okay. Oh dear. Will you know the truth? You should write down that you spent what you spent fate on. Nice.
Got it.
Okay. So, what were you exactly asking of the stars? That Lynn Wenger would never ever do anything with this person?
I think what I was asking of the stars was, how was first I think what I was asking of the stars was an accurate idea of what would happen if this person and Lynn were actually to have a relationship. Like, because I know that it won't work out because
because you know Lynn.
Because I know
Yeah.
Lynn and they are not Katerina, so I want to paint a picture of why this is a bad idea.
So you want to know what would happen to this person specifically?
Yeah. And I don't know them very well, which is why it was harder, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Lynn Wenger.
Yes.
You're of noble birth, right?
Nope.
No, you're not?
No.
Oh,
City woman.
Very easy. They would get disgraced by their parents. And they would have to live below a standard that they were used to.
Yeah. So I'll explain that in my mysterious way of I see you pursuing beyond death. Be with this woman. And yet it costs you so dearly. That which you have come to know and love will be taken from you. Your family will shut you out. And you will be more destitute than those you despise. You will not find happiness here.
Like the stranger backs off, and like for a moment they speak in their own voice, and you hear that it's a young male. There's something a little bit familiar about the voice. You're pretty sure that you've spoken to them before.
Can I make a roll to recognize the voice?
Definitely. And they're like, no, you're lying. You're lying. You just want to take my happiness away from me.
Wrong.
You witch.
Wrong.
They never appreciate the truth.
So I don't really have any skill with recognizing a voice. Would that
Perception, possibly?
Would that just be perception? Is there a skill to recognize a voice?
Not to my knowledge. I would just call it a perception obstacle.
I think so.
I know.
Alternative, like observation.
Yeah, I think it might be observation because
it might be. Yeah.
Well, if I recall correctly, I could be wrong. Like perception is just for like noticing things in your environment, whereas observation is noticing things that are like specifically hidden.
No, so I think this is observation in this case.
Okay, I do not have observation, so we're gonna
beginner's luck test. So let's see. Almost always a versus test. Let's see how inconspicuous this person is. I don't think this person is very inconspicuous. I'm pretty sure that inconspicuous for them is also... What is inconspicuous based off?
Will, I think. I think it's like a social skill.
Mathers, do you know that? Pretty sure you must have...
Inconspicuous is... Yeah, it's based off of will.
Okay. I always keep doing dwarven men.
Well,
Well,
Okay.
we all know that Imre has a large dwarven population.
I mean, definitely.
yeah, it's a
Um,
very common subculture.
the will being learned based off will.
Oh, so is it beginner's luck for both?
Yes.
Nice.
It's beginner's luck versus beginner's luck. Conspicuous. Okay. Let me give you your obstacle. But it's more interesting for you. Actually, it doesn't matter for you because it's always routine. Damn it, why does that keeps getting hidden behind stuff? Modifier is 0. Artha is 0. Obstacle 1. So,
Yikes. Alright, so I need to beat a 3 on 5 dice, and I don't have any Artha left.
that is doubled obstacle, so you need to beat a 6 on 5 dice.
Right, sorry, that was what I meant. I need to beat a 6 on 5 dice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
Well-
be
So, let's go. Nope.
I guess you're not beating a 6 on 5 dice, huh?
Not at all.
So you
Well,
just can't remember.
Isn't it it's okay? So it's a versus test, right? So the obstacle is actually the number of successes that the other person gets.
Yes.
Yep.
yeah. So neither person succeeds.
And this
in
is
case.
beginner's luck test. So for them, the base obstacle would also be 6. Oh, that's weird. I guess you can't really do that. How do you do beginner's luck tests in versus tests? It would be 6 versus 6. So the defending person wins?
I mean, nobody wins in this game.
Yeah. Well,
Nobody
the defender
wins.
wins in this case.
Nobody.
Well, it's still 3 successes versus all 6.
No. Oh, like that. Nobody wins. Okay. So yeah, you're stuck at where you were. Like, you sure that you know this person from somewhere? You just can't remember.
It could be in this case that maybe they reveal something about themselves. Like you could probably tell their voice if you ever heard them again, or maybe they reveal something about what they look like, but you don't know this person. Could be something like that.
But equally, they would also convince Desi that he doesn't know them in that case. So we might as well say that nothing changes.
I mean, nothing changes is a very boring result.
True.
Well, not in this case because Desi knows that
Okay,
there's
hold
something
on, let's
going
see
on.
here.
So the situation is still complicated.
I mean, you still have the information that there's something familiar about them. You just can't place place that voice.
I mean, probably if you heard it again, your memory would be jogged. I imagine that makes sense either way. But like, not that was the situation before she rolled as well. I don't see a reasonable complication where.
I mean,
both
I think
would
at this
complicate
point,
each
since
other.
we're both doing beginner's luck, it's just straight successes versus successes, which would make it a tie, which would go to in favor of the defender, who would be inconspicuous in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, you know them, but you just
Just not
If you could
where.
only remember where, like what the situation was that you ran into them.
Okay.
So do you tell Lynn that there's somebody out to
Yeah.
seduce her?
I think the next time we're having lunch together or something, I will mention it to Lynn, and I will be like, Lynn, your beauty is breaking hearts again.
Not another one. It's at least a handsome one this time.
He was cloaked, mysterious.
One of these types. She rolls her eyes. Well, I assume you didn't tell him anything.
I told him the truth. To seek a relationship with you was folly.
That's why I like you, Desi. So, pat you on the back. So, anything else interesting going on in your life?
His voice sounded like I've heard it. Yet the shadows remained elusive around him, even in my visions.
That is a bit strange, but I'm sure you heard lots of voices in your line of work. Meet so many people looking for.
I thought you were going to say in your head.
I
In your head.
mean, I think that might be implied. I think you hear a lot of voices in your line of work. I'm sure
Fair.
some of them must sound familiar every now and then.
Yeah, she just nods.
Levi.
See?
You know that promise you made to your spy group that you would owe them a favor.
Yes.
Well, you are outside of the university, walking home, when a hooded figure beckons you into a shadowy side street. Psst, Levi, here. Levi, damn it. Psst, Levi, here.
Whatever your name is.
So it's you again. Always pronounces my name.
You with the jeans.
They take their hood off and you see like shaggy, like straw blonde hair, and they're like,
Ruh-roh.
you need to do a job for us. We need you to gather information. You got lucky. This isn't an easy one.
I'm listening.
It's somebody you already know. Lynn Wenger. You need to give us everything you know about them.
Well, I can do that right now for you.
No, but we want, especially for like the coming way. We want you to tail her for a while and to find out what she's up to. I want a full detailed report, and under no circumstances must she know anything about this. Remember, you owe us money. You didn't want to owe us anything else.
Well, as I said, if there should be no risk of her finding out, I can file a report right now. Everything else always has a risk. You know that.
Well, you better succeed.
By the way, is that someone that is high up in the ranks, or is it just some
No,
random...
it's a messenger. Like they're still higher up than you, but
Okay. Can I try to look into this? It sounds weird to me. So
I mean, you can try, but they probably don't really know very much. Just had to tell you that you had to shadow Lynn Wenger, but maybe they pick something up. You can try.
Yes, sure. See, what would persuasion bug here? I guess it might.
If you convince them to tell you stuff, sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. What is the obstacle?
Obstacle 3, I think. I need to put in a little work, but if you do, you can
Yeah,
pull it
because
out.
I definitely need to know why and on what I should concentrate, right? So I need information.
Sure. So they say, well, I don't know the details, but apparently there's some lord somewhere who wants to know stuff on her.
All right. I guess. Why not? Sure.
He pays well, and he wants to know like where is she, and like who is she with, what's she doing, what is important to her. You know, pressure points.
So tomorrow, same time, around here.
No, just tell her for a couple of weeks. I'll see you. I'll be back here in how do they call time again here? A span. I'll be back here in 2 span.
Whatever. If you
You
want to
just
keep
gather anything you can gather in the meantime. I want it to be detailed, and the Lord is paying as well, so
better keep him waiting. I see.
you won't think that we've spent in the actual effort if we don't take some time doing it. Surely you should realize by now, Levi, that appearances in such things matter.
Talking
Appearances and
pretty high for a
expectations.
messenger right now.
Hmm?
Talking pretty high for a messenger right now. Anyway, see you in 2
Snubs.
span there.
Puts back on his cloak. 2 span. Don't forget. So 2 span is 22 days. So do you tell anything of this to Lynn?
I'm not stupid, no.
Well, I guess whenever Lynn does something that somebody might want to know, you're gonna have to roll against each other to see if you successfully find it out. Without looking suspicious.
Fair enough. But, I mean, I would just go home and make the report right away. Like, if I find something else in the meantime, then it's fine. I probably kind of have a detailed report that I can pull from my mind. I mean,
I
pressure
imagine
points not so much, but everything else, I guess. I mean, I know where she lives. I know the people around her, including me.
I imagine you
Studying
can
here.
do
She works there.
a decent job.
So that's what I first do. So that
Okay.
so I don't get into trouble later
Let's
on.
see. I'm sure there's a write a report skill somewhere.
And there's a writing skill.
Well, yeah, just writing.
There's a writing skill for sure, but that's just your skill at writing. Isn't there
Oh, there's composition, I think.
composition?
Oh,
That would work.
I thought that was more like musical composition.
It might be.
I'm pretty sure
too.
it's more than just music.
Yeah, formally arranging one's ideas in written form.
Okay, there we go.
So composition then.
well,
Yeah, that's
Yes,
another
but-
skill that nobody has that's going to kick our ass till we actually manage to open it.
Yeah,
a
basically.
letter is just ob1.
So I imagine this is beyond the letter. This is a formal report, but I imagine Ob2 will allow you to do a reasonable job.
Ob2 is an essay.
Essay, and that kind of sounds like it. What is Ob3?
Ob3 is an editorial.
What is an editorial?
Like written for publication, giving your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Would this be? I think this would be Ob2. I think so. It'd be like Ob2.5, but that's kind of hard to have.
yeah, I need to open up
Run down!
anyway, so yeah, that's just another beginner's luck thingy, right?
Yes, it is. So it would be Ob4 for you.
So how do I do this again? Oh god. So this is composition.
Composition, yeah. So you create a new skill under training.
Yeah, being learned, yes.
Yes, being learned, that one. What is, do you know, Kala, what it's based on?
Based on will and perception.
Okay, so base it on will and perception, and it will tell you how much you still need to do from the 10, so you can fill up however many blobs you don't need to do.
Okay, means will and perception that I use. Can I use both actually?
Yes,
How do I do
use
that?
both.
See,
There's a little checkbox
Okay, and
behind
then,
will, and there you can fill in perception.
okay. Okay, then it's 5 for me.
Okay, so you can fill in 5 checkboxes or 5 circles, and then roll the beginner's luck text against ob. So you fill in ob 2, and then it will automatically turn it into 4, and then you can fill in another of the black circles.
Base up 2, and it will make 4 out of
It will automatically turn it into 4. You don't have to do that.
Right. Seems
So
about right.
you're writing a crappy report. You're gonna have to gather more information to fix this thing. You're basically like, yeah, she lives over there, and she is female, and she goes to the university.
I don't
And-
think it's about the information, it's about how you write it down.
I guess so.
It should just be wild to read, I guess. Like,
Yeah, it's I guess it's would it be unnecessarily complicated or just bad?
Yeah, I mean,
bad writing.
if it's anything like I write reports, it's just a bunch of headlines at this point.
I mean,
Like occupation, age, appearance.
very very complicated. Would I would like it if that's a possibility. Like and then things that shouldn't be in a headline are in a headline, and things that should be in a headline are not.
Sure,
Stuff like
you
that.
write like 30 pages, and this thing contains barely any information, and a lot of things on like the local culture in the university town and the differences between that culture and the one in Imre. You kind of got carried away while you were writing this.
Okay, so if I notice that, I'll probably just take the paper, burn it, and get the ashes everywhere, but not in my room anymore, and start over, because that is not how I should do things.
So, I mean, I won't let you roll again for this. If you try it again, you're just gonna end up with the same result. You just can't help but wondering. In burning wheel, you're supposed to let it ride. So unless the situation changes drastically in some way, once you rolled something, that's the report you're stuck with. Okay. Now, if you were to gather more information, more important, interesting information on Lynn, that's when you would get a chance to fix your problem.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can roll again, you just have to sell her out.
Yeah, basically.
I mean...
So in the...
I mean, it's not like gathering information would put you at risk of her catching you in the act, right?
That would never happen.
Yeah, it still goes contrary to two beliefs. I mean, whatever I do, it's contrary to my beliefs, so...
Well, that's, I mean, you get to choose which belief you want to follow.
Oh. I mean, I probably just let a bit time pass and look if I can just randomly stumble upon something.
Sure. You've got 2 span. You gotta hope that in the second span, if Lynn doesn't let you stumble upon something, that there is something for you to find, something scandalous about her.
Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting to try to be the good guy at the same time. Like, going to Lynn and saying, hey, someone asked me about you. It sounded really strange and something. Do you have any idea what this is about?
I mean, you were specifically forbidden from doing that, right?
That's a problem. I see. I could ask Desi, isn't that right? But she mistrusts me, so that's not that well, you know.
No,
I
yeah,
mean-
definitely ask Desi. I like that idea.
You can
Ask
try
anyone,
asking
really.
Desi.
Mathers doesn't seem to have the information I need. And it would also... Well, maybe if I just... If I give him enough...
Money?
If money that I don't have, promises, then...
Promises of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Well,
about to ask too, by the way.
yeah. Mathers, I think, has a number of irons in the fire, but might be able to help.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really anybody else I can go to at this point without just doing something risky. So, I mean, this is still risky, but it's not as risky as breaking into rooms or something. So,
You can always just circle up someone. Probably be difficult.
I mean, now let's just go to Mathers at first.
Okay.
Okay. So, do we want to take a break first?
You could do that.
Okay. All right.
Before that.
So yes, we will be back in 5-ish, and I just need to get a couple of ducks in a row.
Make sure that the countdown starts skewing.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, we'll be back in about 5.